Tonight, you will spend roughly 8 hours unconscious and have absolutely no idea what that time was originally designed for. You think sleep is rest. Your ancestors knew it was something else entirely. Your ancestors also did not die scrolling through strangers' opinions at midnight, so they had certain advantages. For 300,000 years, humans did not sleep the way you sleep. The single unbroken 8-hour block you aim for every night is not natural. It was invented, and the thing it replaced was arguably more interesting than anything you do while awake. But before the night even started, there was one problem. Darkness in the ancient world was not an inconvenience. It was a death sentence. Your ancestors had genuinely terrible night vision compared to the things hunting them. A leopard at midnight could see you perfectly. You could not see your own hand. In this specific scenario, you were not the apex predator. You were the snack. The solution was fire. The earliest solid evidence of humans controlling fire comes from Wonderwork Cave in South Africa roughly 1 million years ago. But fire did not just keep people warm. Fire completely restructured the human day in a way that changed our species forever. Before fire, our ancestors were like every other primate. When the sun went down, you climbed a tree and stayed completely still. Moving at night meant becoming food. Fire changed that equation overnight. Literally, a campfire creates a circle of safety roughly 30 feet across. Inside that circle, predators will not come. Outside that circle, you die. Fire suddenly added 2 to 4 hours to every single day. Think about what free time did to humans. Your ancestors discovered unscheduled time and immediately used it to become the dominant species on the planet. Modern humans discovered unscheduled time and invented the 3-hour YouTube rabbit hole. Here is what ancient humans actually did with those extra hours. They talked, not about logistics. A researcher spent years recording nighttime conversations among one of the last hunter-gatherer groups still living close to the original human lifestyle. During the day, 80% of talk was practical. At night around the fire, 81% was stories, myths, jokes, adventures. Basically, the original TikTok. Except the content was worth remembering and nobody was trying to sell you supplements. The campfire was the original internet. It is where humans learn to share information across time and distance. A story about a dangerous river 2 days walk away could save your life even if you never saw that river. The humans who told better stories survived. Over thousands of generations, this pressure shaped the human brain into a storytelling machine, which explains podcasts, gossip, and the entire career of every person who has ever said so. Basically, what happened was, now here is the part that will actually change how you think about your own sleep. You were not designed to sleep in one block. This is not a theory. It is in the historical record going back thousands of years. Prayer books from the 1400s, court records, diaries, medical texts, even Homer's Odyssey. All of them reference the same two things: first sleep and second sleep. Before the industrial age, every human on the planet went to bed shortly after sunset, slept for about 4 hours, then woke up. Not because something was wrong, just woke up. They stayed awake for 1 to 2 hours, in the middle of the night, then slept again until dawn. This was not insomnia. This was the schedule. Nobody was lying there catastrophizing about a mildly awkward thing they said in 2014. A psychiatrist at the National Institute of Mental Health tested this in 1992. He took volunteers and removed all artificial light from their lives for a month. Within weeks, every single participant settled into the same 2-sleep pattern without being told to. An ancient program sitting dormant inside them just switched itself back on the moment the screens disappeared, which is either very beautiful or deeply alarming depending on how attached you are to your phone. What makes this stranger is what happened during that middle-of-the-night waking period. The participants were not anxious or groggy. Researchers measured elevated levels of prolactin in their blood, the same hormone released during deep meditation. They described feeling calm, reflective, unusually clear-headed, a state most modern humans only reach briefly after a very expensive yoga class, or accidentally in the shower. Your ancestors used this window deliberately. A French physician in the 1500s wrote that this was the best time for couples to conceive children. A medical manual recommended it for studying and deep reflection. People interpreted their dreams while the details were still sharp. They lay in the dark and thought about their lives, without a single notification interrupting them. The audacity. Think about what that means. Every human who ever lived before about 1800 had a built-in daily period of quiet reflective consciousness that modern humans have completely eliminated. Not shortened, eliminated. We replaced it with the 11 p.m. scroll, which researchers have not yet studied, but which is almost certainly not producing elevated prolactin levels. And the night had one more thing your ancestors used that we have almost entirely forgotten: the sky. Before artificial light, the Milky Way was not something you drove 3 hours to see and took one photo of for Instagram. It was just what you looked at every clear night for free. Ancient humans memorized the stars the way you memorize the Netflix homepage, except the stars were genuinely useful and did not change their layout every 2 weeks just to confuse you. Stonehenge is aligned to the summer solstice sunrise. The Great Pyramid aligns with Orion's belt. The Nazca lines in Peru point to specific star positions. These were not decorations. This was infrastructure. Then came the light. Street lamps in Paris in the 1600s. Gas lamps in the 1800s. Edison's bulb in 1879. Within one generation, the night that humans had navigated for 300,000 years was simply gone. And everyone acted like this was only good news. To be fair, not being eaten by leopards is good news. The rest is more complicated. Here is what it cost. When light hits your retina at 11 p.m., your brain registers it as midday. It suppresses melatonin. It delays sleep. It fragments the architecture of the night your body was built to have. The two-sleep pattern does not disappear because you have light bulbs. It gets compressed and interrupted and turned into something a doctor calls a sleep disorder, and a pharmaceutical company calls a business opportunity. Researchers found that 1 week of camping with no artificial light resets your melatonin cycle by nearly 2 hours. 1 week. Your body is so desperate to return to the old pattern that it takes less time to fix than most people spend. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m. and cannot get back to sleep, you are not broken. You are not ill. You are an ancient human lying in the dark between first and second sleep, exactly the way every single one of your ancestors did. For 300,000 years, your body is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Your ancestors sat in that darkness and thought the thoughts that built civilization. They told stories their grandchildren's grandchildren would still repeat. They watched a sky so full of stars, it looked like the universe was showing off. They had a type of quiet clarity every single night that most modern humans will never experience even once. And you wake up at 3 a.m., reach for your phone, get blasted in the face with blue light, 14 notifications, a news headline, 3 ads, and somebody's opinion about something that does not affect you. Then lie awake for 2 hours wondering why you cannot sleep. 300,000 years of human programming, defeated by a rectangle. Your ancestors survived leopards. They would not survive you. Smash subscribe so the next one can actually exist.